People must come to P3's 2022 season because theater needs you and you need the theater. It's a place, again, where you can get away from the troubles of your real world. You can live in some dream life for a couple of hours. You could put yourself in one of the characters' places and live their little toe tapping 2 hours and just reset yourself. Get out of your normal routine of the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 if that's what your routine is, or have a date night. Just enjoy life. Theater is therapy on so many levels. It's therapeutic for the patrons. It's therapeutic for the actors. It's therapeutic for anybody who's passionate about it on stage or off. So you must come to the theater to fulfill those needs, and I know you have them. Hi, I'm Jon Peterson, Executive Artistic Director of P3 Theater Company. Today we bring you some exciting news about our upcoming 2022 season in Hermosa Beach. You want to know more about what's going on with P3 in 2022? Listen to this conversation. So now that we have found what seems to be currently the perfect venue for our 2022 season with two different theater spaces, what shows are we going to put in those spaces? Well, guess what? I had already picked the shows, so I am now going to tell you what those shows are. We are going to open our season with a play as opposed to a musical, and that play is called Love, Valor, Compassion, and that's by Terrence McNally, the playwright. And our second production is a musical, and that musical is called Bubble Boy. That is based on the movie The Bubble Boy, about the boy with the autoimmune disorder. The third show of our season is another musical, imagine that, called Disenchanted, a new musical comedy. And our final production of 2022 in our main stage series will be the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Love, Valor, Compassion by playwright Terrence McNally. That show won the Tony Award for Best Play in 1995. I actually had never seen the play on stage live. I was introduced to this work of art because it became a movie. And I saw the movie. The only big name in the movie would be Nathan Lane was in the film. I'm sorry, Jason Alexander was in the film. Nathan Lane was in the original Broadway production. Basically, Love, Valor, Compassion is a very engaging, dramatic story about 7 friends who would go to one of the friends owned a home kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and they would go there for long holiday weekends like Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. And the story is about their friendships, the trials and tribulations of their friendships, the romantic relationships, the AIDS crisis. It did take place back in the 90s. And it's really just a very touching story. And it really speaks close to my heart because of the subject matter of it, with being gay friends. And it came out in a time in my life where I was a young homosexual back in the 90s, and I was able to relate to a lot of things in the show, in the movie. The good thing about it, and kind of the neat thing, readdressing, going back to this almost 20 years later, it's nice to, actually more than 20 years later, it's relevant on so many levels. You don't have to be a young gay male to relate to the story. It relates to anybody who has a friend or a group of friends that spends time together, that has had challenges, that has had a lot of love, unconditional love. Really, really beautiful, touching story, and I think anybody who sees it will be moved, definitely. And our second show, Bubble Boy. Oh my goodness! So, Bubble Boy, the musical, is based on the Bubble Boy movie. This show was introduced to me by a good friend of mine, Mark Torres, who was in our inaugural production of Evita. I was also fortunate enough to share the stage with him on a couple of other occasions outside of P3. He introduced me to this show, and he is going to be the director of this show. It's really fun. It's a light-hearted look at the movie the Bubble Boy. If you're not familiar with the story, it's about a boy with an autoimmune disorder who basically has to live in a bubble. But this is much more lighthearted than Love, Valor, Compassion. It's let's just say there's a song in it called Decontaminate Me. Now, you know by the title of that song, it's not going to be very serious. The production ran off Broadway. It's got some fantastic music. It's going to be great. We have a very, very exceptional video projection designer. Video projections are going to be a huge part of this production. And it's going to be a lot of fun and a great time for all. And, it's an autoimmune disorder. We're coming out of a pandemic that, people have immune problems with it. It's just, there's a lot of things to relate to. So we're gonna pull on all of those COVID references that we can, and just we need a little levity here. So I think that's what the show is going to bring, is a lot of levity, and again, it's a lot of great music. It's a great script. Not sure if I mentioned, but the script for the musical was written by the same person who wrote the movie. So obviously there will be a lot of similarities, if you will. So make sure you don't miss Bubble Boy. Now, the third show of our 2022 season. This is super exciting to me because we were going to produce this show virtually. The licensing company actually created a virtual version of this show to do and made it easier for producers to be able to do this. They called it the stay-at-home version. But we were unable to, for a number of reasons, actually produce it during 2020. So we're bringing it to a stage. It is called Disenchanted, a new musical comedy. What can I say other than it is the true story behind the Disney princesses? You think they're all happy-go-lucky and life is perfect and they live happily ever after. Not in this musical, they don't. For example, Ariel, your favorite mermaid, she sings a song about two legs. Yeah, there's a lot of hilarity in this production. Great music. It's an all-female cast, and it's some of your favorite Disney princesses are involved. You've got Belle, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Snow White, Pocahontas, and the list goes on. But it's really a lot of fun. And if you're a Disney fan, you're going to love it. If you don't like Disney, you'll probably love it even more because it just pokes fun at Disney, a lot of the Disney tropes. So be sure not to miss Disenchanted. And to wrap up our 2022 season, we are so excited. We're doing a lot of shows this year that really aren't well known in the mainstream, which I think is great because there are so many good theatrical pieces out there. We want to make sure that our community gets a chance to see these where they might not otherwise have. But this show is one that you're probably familiar with, at least if you've never seen it, then you've at least heard the title, I'm hoping. If not, you're going to hear it now. And that show is the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Yes, I said it. I picked this show because I won the 7th grade San Diego County Lutheran Spelling Bee. I'm just saying. So another fun show. I think this is a year for a lot of levity, a lot of fun, a lot of silliness, and that's what you're going to get with most of our season. And this show, I think, is just the perfect way to wrap up 2022 on our main stage. So from our 2022 season, there were a lot of factors that I took into play when I was trying to come up with the season. You want a diverse mix of shows. You want shows that people are going to be entertained by. You want shows that you're going to be able to get a cast for. I took in a lot of that into consideration. So ironically, I picked a play with all men. I picked a musical with all women. I picked 3 musicals, which that's typically how our seasons go. We have more musicals than plays. But for the most part, what I really wanted to bring for 2022 in our season was feel-good stuff. The world has been so heavy for a couple of years now. I just want people to walk out of the theater humming and buzzing about what a great time they had and laughing and watching people laugh. that's really what I want people to get out of this season. Now we do have a serious play in it, um, and I think I really felt it kind of necessary to have something a little serious because the world isn't always what was it rainbows and unicorns or puppies or all of that. So we've got to have a little reality in it. But even though it's a dramatic piece, it does talk about friendship and love. So it is a feel good piece. So what I want the audiences to get is just a couple of hours at a time where they come and sit down in the theater and watch a really solid professional production and walk out of it tapping their feet and singing and humming and going home and just knowing that they had a great time and were able to get away from their own reality for a couple of hours at a time. So one of the hardest things about being the artistic director at P3 Theater Company is casting our shows. Let me tell you, here in Southern California, there is some ridiculously amazing talent. And it's the hardest thing, but it's my favorite thing. It's like I want those actors to make my job so difficult when they come into the audition that I'm not going to know who to cast because I'm going to cast everybody. And that is how we have been so fortunate as a theater company since our very first production. We've had some ridiculous talent walk into our auditions and be in our shows. Talent that can literally walk onto a Broadway stage and blow you out of your seats. So when you come to a P3 Theater Company production, you can be assured that you are going to get the best of the talent of Southern California. And let me tell you, there's a lot of it out there. So you want to make sure support your community and support these wonderful stars. People must come to P3's 2022 season because theater needs you and you need the theater. It's a place, again, where you can get away from the troubles of your real world. You can live in some dream life for a couple of hours. You could put yourself in one of the characters' places and live their little toe tapping 2 hours and just reset yourself. Get out of your normal routine of the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 if that's what your routine is, or have a date night. Just enjoy life. Theater is therapy on so many levels. It's therapeutic for the patrons. It's therapeutic for the actors. It's therapeutic for anybody who's passionate about it on stage or off. So you must come to the theater to fulfill those needs. Hi, I'm Jon Peterson, Executive Artistic Director of P3 Theater Company, and our 2022 main stage season tickets are now on sale. You need to get thee to your computer and go to www.p3theater.biz. That's P3THEATRE.biz and get your tickets to our 2022 season now.